So, good morning, everybody. And it is always very nice when I try to do the webinar, and especially when you are doing a new topic. And this is the first time, even though this is a very common when we do in a financial planning, we try to tell people that you come with a spouse and we do the investments with the together. That's where the wealth creation and everything happens. But to give me the background about this, I got, I think, so 2 weeks back. If somebody wants to check my LinkedIn, I have written the review on the same thing because that couple was trying to tell me how I wanted to start the new journey, and then they're saying they're getting married in few months. They have a lot of questions, and which I was trying to do and giving example of my own personal level, and that made me to think that okay, why don't I do this? Because a lot of time that questions we think which is very uh, silly or it is okay, but it was they have a many more question, and I feel so happy when you see the young couple of coming around 20s or early 30s that they wanted to start their financial journey very well with along with their personal journey. And that's where this question webinar I'm doing first time, even though the things so the data and everything we have been doing this. So before I start doing this I think so webinar, I thought let me give my disclaimer because when you do new webinar, you try to meet, call a lot of people, understand from them, apart from the person whom I met. And then I realized that, okay, and my daughter started saying, no, 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 actually, the thing is, your thinking is different, you are old. So I thought, let me give one disclaimer itself saying that yes, I am whatever I am going to tell today and teach or say in my own thoughts is my own personal views, my own experience, and what I have been trying to mentor. I am not a so called, I can say, a couple therapist or something like that. What I feel it is right, and we have been able to manage. So, giving a just brief about me here. I'm 50 years old, 25, 26 years of wedding, and I know Anil 6 years or 8 years before wedding. So that's the way we have been doing. So my examples also will try to link it those time. So the question came says very beautifully it way says that if I wanted to start because they are going to start their journey as a family also and as a wealth. So they were very happy to say, why don't we have these kind of questions? So I said, yeah. So what are the questions comes? And that made me remind to go back myself at 26 years back where I was. And I feel I'm very privileged, and this is the feedback I gave it that time also. I don't know anyone of here are Christians. So where when we got married, I'm being a Hindu, Anil being in a Catholic. So before having the church wedding, there was a mandatory to have a marriage counseling certificate, and I felt that was one of the things we should made it as a good course of the for Hindu wedding also, because in 3 days of our certificate, how to communicate, importance of communication, family planning, how you take care of legality of things. And one full day was on finance. What is the income and expense you have? What is your perception? What is a bucket list? How you wanted to see yourself? How you take care of contingency? And that one day, my file's still there in 26 years, and I felt that is a very nice way where the couple should do it, because it makes a life when I'm speaking with lot of, so I'm just giving you a few statistics here. When I'm doing a counseling and I was doing a chat GPT or AI based lot of things, and we realized that the highest divorce case is because of the finance. So it says that 80% plus is because of the financial issues. So very rarely you will find that either first or second things are coming under these kind of things. So why don't we try to give that part of it? So we thought the best way is to start when you're starting any new beginning, and that always gives you good energy, good things to go about it. Make sure as a couple, because most of us are double income kind of it. I'm not saying all are earning equally or whatever, but they are doing how we can respect each other's space, the earnings and all the stuff. How we utilize the double income, because most of the time, because even I'm going to give my example in future that when you start earning so much, you don't know where to spend. And sometimes you have taken some commitment which is making you in a long term issues, how you take care of those, or you have taken a lot of debt, how you take care of those. So making a good healthy long term happy marriage with the happy financials, that's what we thought we are going to have in this webinar today. So why financial planning for a couple is super powered. So we have, as I told you, this is the things which first time I'm doing. So maximum facts, figures, we got it across from AI, Google, and other things where we felt that has been a good thing. So we can save 2x indirectly instead of a single earning. That is no second thought about it. 20 to 30% faster and easier for a wealth creations. One in three couples money is the number one cause of the stress, as I told you in the things. So how to make sure a financial planning. 43% of the couple makes financial decision together regularly. I will try to say that this is the another concept which I felt. I have been myself worked 30 years almost, and I felt people says, no, Rachna, I don't want to take risk. Most of the women, my husband, my father, my CA is taking care. But I says that I ask sometimes why you don't take a decisions, because what I see as a person, as a human, and so as a woman, as a wife or something, I feel we take a much bigger decision. It can be buying of gold, kids' wedding, which house to buy, all those things, which is much bigger quantum, bigger money. But when we come to the investment, we so many times the me female part says no, it's better the male takes it. So it is okay to do it. I always says anyone is doing is perfectly fine as long as you are aware of. Because when I have done a lot many succession, I have seen people they not even aware that they have a term cover or not, health cover or not, what are the password, if sudden things happen, will is there or not. They were not even aware. So as a couple, as a family, we should be aware more than you are taking decision or not, or helping them to take decide. So this exercise I do very nicely and I enjoy doing when I do with a couple. I always says, okay, how much you spend monthly? So husband very quickly will say just 30, 50, 40K like that. And the wife will slowly will start saying and looking at the husband and say, I don't know where is he going. And then it will come around 1 lakh, 1.5. It's almost 2x and 3x. So what I have realized most of the time, because when we are doing planning, we just take it as a monthly expenses, whatever is going through card or whatever. But you're not realizing so much expense we have it, which is not a regular monthly. So I keep telling people if you have a family of four, at least your four birthdays, anniversaries, you're having the two, three functions and one or two weddings, itself will take care of your quite a lot of expenses on those side. It may be gifting, it can be travel or something. How you take care of those part is very, very important part of it. So, top advice for a newly wedding couple is this is what I feel how to have unmanageable debt. Borrow only when it is. So, this is the another things which I'm trying to tell a people. It's not for your partner or something, it's for yourself, how you feel, how you can have a debt free, stress free things to take a decision to not to go in a debt early. So I remembered our parents and all the stuff. They will try to have the house only end of a when they have finished their all the accountability with the kids' wedding and then because they don't want to take a debt. So sometimes some debts are okay to have it because we have a surplus income. It's giving a tax benefit. But don't take so much of a debt which can create an issue on decision power. And that's where I keep telling people don't overdo it. So I'll give you my example in 98, actually second house when you're giving for a rent, there is no limit for the tax saving. So even my tax interest is around 12 lakhs. I can claim 12 lakhs as a tax benefit. And we both were earning so good. So we said, okay, we both have taken a one house each for the loan to just to have tax benefit. And anyway, we were going earning good. In 2001, we got a baby, and that's where that time it was not so flexible that you can take so many days leave. So after 3 months of maternity, I have to go back. And actually, I didn't want to go back because I want to spend time with the kid. And then this is who will pay the second EMI, because two people have two EMIs. So it is not so easy to have two EMIs with the one salary. And when we think, okay, we will have to sell, and to sell also it takes time. And then I still remember I have to, because I was in IT side and I have to travel to US. I stayed 6 months, and I still had a guilty that okay, I didn't spend time with my kid, and that's the only reason why I quit IT and joined here. Was very clear that if I have a kid, second kid, if I was not sure that time, if I have it, I will quit, because I don't want a mental block that I didn't do what I want to do. So sometimes taking a debt that particular time it was okay, but in the long run it is not. So please make sure whenever you are taking a debt, you are taking care of a long term also. Build an emergency fund. It's a very good cushion. We should have the concept of emergency fund is whatever is your monthly expense into 6 months, please put it in FDs or debt funds, which can be taken care by the one day or 2 days basis. Take decisions quite jointly. So it's not that most of the time a person will say no or yes, but it is good to have a decisions jointly because the perspectives are different. So I'll give you example for one of this customer, the young couple who came to me. One person wanted to buy the real estate and another person wasn't wanted to buy a real estate. And that's the reason they said, Rachna, I want you to resolve this problem. And I said, who am I? But yes, I will give you both the perspectives. And I tell till now also I do the same thing, and I tell others also, please write what is pros and con, and then decide. It's not that I win or you lose kind of it. It's a better. So I told the same thing that first of all, being a young, so you have to decide very clearly that you are going to stay there in Bangalore, India, or wherever forever, because in Bangalore itself being a decision on the travel is such a big, so you keep switching the job and then you have to give for a rent, then again you are going for a one more rent. So your flexibility of taking a job which is coming abroad, maybe you have to decide that can I take or not. So those are the questions you have to see. What is the priority of a flexibility versus taking care on a job continuity kind of it. Are you are able to take so I always says make sure not more than 30% of the total income of both of yours should not go more than an EMI, because if it goes above 35, 40, you will have a smallest thing. Even you wanted to go a domestic trip, you may have to think that can I take or not. Have a very clear thing on future. If you want a kids, when you want to retire, how much you have to support your parents and in-laws and other things like that, how to take care of those part of it. It's a very very important part. So when we just think, we are not thinking on those lines, but yes, that also become a, one of the things which we have to look when you are looking for the future. So, of course, I keep saying that we have to be independent, but I always says when you are doing a financial planning, it's better to be interdependent, not independent. Because when you're interdependent, it gives a good comfort, the bond, you are having the trust, and that's where it's going for a long. So, in our place, we actually yesterday only we had a salary day, and suddenly our CFO came and he said, "How your means who manage your bank?" And I said, no, actually I don't know. Our finance person is saying, you don't see your bank. I said, no, I have not seen for last 20 years my bank statement at all. So he was very surprised. He said, you are giving a webinars and you don't know. So I said, no, I'm very clear, because whatever income comes to me, I do SIP, and all the house income is taken care by Anil. So that's a very clear cut for us. So that's the way how we have done it for last 20, 25 years. So why worry? I've never stopped my SIP. Whatever I am earning, coincidentally, I am doing 100% of investment, but together. So you all can start thinking who will do what responsibility, what a person is contributing where. Somebody can contribute on the house front, somebody is taking care of investment, somebody is taking care of overall celebration, vacation. Like a, I just go for a vacation. Even last week we went to Goa, and somebody asked where you're going and meeting. I said, I have no idea which hotel, which place, which flight. Like a person, I just go because he manage everything. So I'm saying we should know our what are we are good at, and you divide according to your that contribution and make sure that we plan. But I know that okay, when you're planning, I can take care of you. Go as there's a rains going on, so you take umbrella, you take the packing, you take medicines and other things. So you should know where are your strengths and the weakness and the partners, and that's where makes a better things. Bucket your savings is very important. So there's a difference in savings and difference in investments. Savings is like okay, I have saved and it is in my saving account which is giving me 3%, which is also taxable. But I'm investing because I don't need so much other than my emergency or contingency, so I'll do it on a long term. Create a goal very clearly. Yesterday, we went to one of our close friends' funeral, and we all were coming back. And then this is how you are able to manage all these goal tracker and all and a bucket list. So I said yes. She said, "Why don't you spend on the branded things for a lot more gold?" I said, "I don't like it." So, but I and we all love the traveling. So we are very clear. Last, I don't think so. We have missed any single year last 25 years where we have not gone for 4 vacations. So come together and decide what makes you feel happy to be together as a family and all, and make the all the financial goals. It can be a vacation, it can be a long term, it can be a short term. So for us, short term is talking about most of the time below 3 years. 3 to 5 years is midterm, and above 8 years is long term. Avoid debt how much it can be, because it is good to have it. Of course, when we were working separately, we I had a one corporate card. But the time I have joined here, so I normally take a credit card, which is a supplementary card. It's not that you cannot eligible, but it is easier for somebody to track it and take care of it. So that's another things what I have noticed it. Celebrate the milestone, not just an occasion. That's a very very important part in a financial side. Like you are able to manage a small contingency, it can be small vacation, you are able to manage without stressing yourself. It's very very important to take care of those when you are young. So I was just telling about them. So when you are shifting, you have to realize the buying the furniture, taking care of gadgets, maybe washing machine, microwaves, other things also required it. The small things, how you all can manage, that's a very, very good part when you are starting good things. So this is a normal constant rule. I do indirectly 25, 25, 25, but it's called 50, 20, 30, 20. So for 50, I convert into 25, 25. 25 is either your rent or EMI should take care, and other 25 should take care of your basics expenses at home, which is food, groceries, electricity bills, mobile bills, which is mandatory kind of it. 25, I say, as a saving or investment, and 25 is a lifestyle where you wanted to go out, you wanted to go for small vacation, you wanted a evening and parties or whatever. It can be a lifestyle. It can be anything nowadays. Lifestyle not necessary to have a parties. I'm just trying to say for me, it can be a vacation, or I spend time more on maybe you can say head massage, or I can say the plants. Whatever you make you feel happy is the want. And that's the difference. I say 25, 25, 25 is the easier way of doing. But once you put that part, don't change. That is what I have learned. And I, thanks to my dad, I always says that and my dad was in army and the discipline works wonder. I last 30 year, I have never missed one single month investments. And it's always in the percentage level. Because when you are earning 20,000 rupees, your 5,000 makes very big. But 20,000 became a 1 lakh, that 5,000 is not big. So when you are doing in a percentage, it makes a very, very good revenue. And market up, down, I never bothered much. My investment continued because my goals was very clear that I am going to take care of kids' education and my retirement. Anyway, my vacation is a part of my monthly, I have done it a budgeting and it worked. So you have to know which you should look at as long term and a short term. The negativity, all these WhatsApp groups, scams, and other things should not change. Okay. So that's another thing I have noticed in most of our customers who are the more passive customers, their portfolio grows the highest. And the customers who keeps having, okay, I realign, I do this, it doesn't work because you never gave the value to give a power of compounding sometime also. So, how much to spend and do joint budgeting? This is the first question they ask me. How much we should spend? So, I always says when you are started your journey or you're doing, you should spend the most time with yourself. Of course, budgeting is very important. It is good to have it. Lot many things I'm also learning. Like they said, I don't wanted to disclose my salary, so I said, okay, I was not means at least for us it was not so common because if I still remember the first salary comes, I'll just dot forward to Anil and he will take care of my ESOPs and everything else. So, but nowadays I says whatever it is not your money, my money, or whatever money, but you decide what percentage of savings you will do and put it in your name. It's fair game. You are earning, you are putting 20%, put it in your investment, and if he's earning, so you will decide that what all expenditure he or she will take care. And then you put it across where you will start earning. Because nowadays, when we do financial planning, sometimes people comes alone and they said, I don't want to mix as a family dashboard also. So we giving a benefit for their privacy on their investments. So it is okay, but when you are making the budget, please do it together. Budget is not only for investment, budget is for how you are going to manage your monthly expenses. How you are taking care, like how you have a car, you have a shocker in the things. No, if something's a speed breaker comes, how you will be able to take care. That is very, very important because he was telling that she's having the education loan, so which is a very nice to understand that she has an education loan, has to pay back the all the money, so she cannot contribute much. So you have to decide when you are budgeting what are the things which we can take care together, what are the commitment which is done previous to wedding also, how to manage those. As that person said that I have already been a what you call EMI for my parent and I have to pay that. I said yes. So those are the things which you have to decide what are my commitments, how much I can budget and how I can save, and that's where we can try to put it across. Every time it's good. I'm not saying people don't do, and I feel you all young people have a much more better apps. You can link your I can say everything most of us are having online, so where you are spending this, not only me, I'm telling so many customer comes and tell me, Rachna, I'm seeing from 16 so much money I earned, where it went, I don't know. So I said, I don't know, you were doing only this much SIP, where it went. So she's telling, oh, if I knew, I must have saved it. So this I have seen even young people also when they realize it, ki I am overspending or I am purchasing so much, but I am not even wearing and using that. Why I'm doing so? That's where your need versus want will start coming soon. Because in the young kids, I have seen, okay, there is a sale going on, I'll do it. Even in our house, sometimes I will see that, okay, they have purchased and they said, oh, I don't have clothes, but so many clothes, they'll say, oh, I have not worn, even I have not removed my tag also. So sometimes we overspend with the thinking together and we don't realize that is a want. So how to cut first is a want. So whenever some young kid people comes and I says the easiest way is one weekend you're not going, whatever is the one weekend saving you start, because discipline is more important than the money most of the time. So we'll have a quick poll. I'll ask Tara to put it across because this is very things which I've seen. Certain expenses has come from 50,000. How you will handle. So most of the time this is I have a saving aside for an emergency. What comes under emergency? That's another question they ask me. How I can take it? People says no, I can take the even the salary loan, or I can borrow from my friends, or I'll use credit card. Sometime that time credit card doesn't works. How I don't know how to do. I'm stressing it out. What are the things which we do? So please, if you can start voting. Uh, Tara, is it getting voted?
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot see anybody started voting.
No, it has started. I'll just share the result once I've stopped.
Yeah. So this person says that suddenly one of our co-relatives, little far off, they're saying that wanted a medical money and they were not able to pay, so I don't know how to do. So here the poll result says that it is very nice that 88% do have an emergency, and that's where they should use it. And I personally feel make sure that at least 6 months things are there, because sometimes at end in our life our relationships, our things is going to help more than the sometime in the money also. So I'll go back to the next slide. So before I do, there is a small video. Please let me know if you are able to hear.
No, ma'am. Voice is not audible.
Pardon?
Voice is not audible.
I'm not able to do that myself. I'm just trying to continue because I'm not able to put the volume. So if I stop it, I get this if I do the share. This is not coming. I have to put here the sound. Yeah. So I just skip it across. I think so that video is not going through. So you can just see even I think so the without volume also it will be able to tell. So, as I told you, why emergency funds are important, it is always says that because the smaller any other contingency comes, it'll take care of that. So when the ET now self wealth survey they have done, they said 47% of young couple have no emergency savings plans. So that is the one thing which is a cause of concern, because most of the time the smallest things just keep coming in your mind and you're not able to sleep. So having a peace of mind. So how you define peace of mind? Everybody have a different ways. For me, my peace of mind is that I'm able to sleep the time I lie down within 5 minutes. So that's the way I look at my peace of mind. But I'm saying the things which is not bothering you in your mind. It can be financial, it can be personal, it can be emotional or office or whatever. That's a peace of mind it is. So how you can take, at least on a financial side, make sure that you have the household expense liquidity take care of overall part of it. Way to save, that was another questions they ask. So most of the time we always define as a short term, mid term, and a long term. So this is the very good thing I was telling, that how next generation is changing, and I'm so old because one person who joined EY and they called me auntie, I wanted to invest, and I was feeling so happy. When you are young, you have a power of compounding of 20-30 years. You are going to do so good. So I said, okay, I wanted to start an SIP. I said, well, very nice. Then I said, okay, tell me what you want for long term, short term. Accordingly, I will take care of the funds. So most of the time, if it is short term, we give a debt liquid arbitrage or a hybrid funds. Then you will start giving us a balance advantage. You take care of a large cap, and then you start going for the long term. So he said everything is long. So I said very nice, so good. You are looking for the long term, and then it realized, and I said I don't know what it came in my mind, and I asked what is long term. I asked him, and they said 6 months. And the response of 6 months was, I was just like how you say, googly comes, no? It's like that. I didn't know how to cry or a laugh, because in my mind, I never thought somebody will give me a 6 months as the long term. So we have to be defined very clearly. It may be a 6 months for you is a long term, but when we are doing an investment, our time horizons is linked to market cycles actually. That's the way we are trying to do. It's not that our definitions are right or wrong, maybe different to different people, but we trying to say how to take care of a market cycles. Normal market cycles, which we say bear or a bull kind of it, we says it is between 8 to 9 years order. Okay, so which gives us, so even whenever I keep telling people, when you're looking for the returns, or when I say it's equity returns, I always see normally 10 years ruling. So in 10 years you have a bull and bear, because otherwise somebody will show me only last 3 years where it is giving 35% returns and they will expect 35. But you're not seeing that when it is gone minus 20% also when the averaging comes. So please try to see long term, short term, and mid term separately. So when you have things to take care of for festival, gifting, going small vacation, gadgets, which is a smaller duration time. So you have to see how to take a tax efficiency, liquidity. Liquidity means is how fast you can get the money fast. That's very, very important to save across. When you are talking about vehicle, down payment, home interiors, you can have a hybrid funds. Even you can say FDs, RDs also okay somehow if it is too short kind of it, or the debt mutual funds. It's another point. When you start looking a long-term retirement, child's education, you're taking care of property down payments and other things, then you will start looking how you can take a mutual fund, equities, PMS, EPF, insurance. Above all those things, you have to make sure your term and health covered without fail. That is the first basic safety net. You should have it. When you are young, the term cover or a life cover will be the same premium till you're 99. Yesterday, I was just going through the another statistics, and which says that nowadays that average people are living longer and they become health conscious around 85 to 90. So you have to realize that yesterday I had another customer who talking about 401 in US, which says that their 401 comes only at the age of 67. Here I have seen people coming to me at 50, 55 that I want to retire. So everywhere the longevity is going, how you are going to take care of that. and then to inflation linked is a very, very important part of it. Smart financials are very specific. Of course, we all know we have to make sure that we are able to do that. It is, I always believe, start imagining with a story like you are going, let me give my example. I'm in a Bangalore South, I'm going to the MG Road. First thing, I will just put it across where I'm going. So let us say I'm going to the MG Road or the Brigade Road, any specific hotel, let us say Taj Vivanta I'm going. So I'm very specific. I want to go to the Taj Vivanta. So what I'm going to do, I'll just go to the Google Map or any maps and put it my goal where I am going. Be specific, measurable. I will be 100% will be saying, okay, my meeting is around 11 o'clock. What is the time it is taking? Of course, Bangalore traffic is too much. So I give a buffer to my Google ETA also. So I'll say, okay, if it's taking 1 hour, I'll take 1.5 hours. I'm measuring that part of it of the traffic increasing and my time and doing. Is it goal is achievable or not? Is it I'm able to achieve in my 1.5 hour my meeting or not? It has to be clear. If it is not, I have to start much early or I have to reschedule my meeting. So you have to make sure that able to achieve the goal or not. Then relevance of that. If it is relevant or not, I can say that person, why don't you come to the common ground and then we can meet it across. So relevance comes and time bound. I can do that. I can do it in the morning, or if it is evening, it's taking less time, or Saturday, Sunday traffic is less. So I'm just giving an example of every day we are doing same smart goals for a travel, which is maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. But our journey is for 80, 85 years. How we are putting that point into our life is very, very important. If I'm going to stay till 85, it's not necessary I have to live. I always tell I live today, I don't know tomorrow I'm alive or not. But if I'm living till 85, is it I have enough money to alternative income when I'm not earning? Is it I'm taking care of my kids' education or not? Am I taking care of inflation or not? Those are the questions we need to ask and start working across, then having the most of the time a stress level and put it across. Start early is always very, very good. This is what I keep telling. Our daughter started working last 1 year back. The first thing I told her is to start SIP. Coincidentally, today, just before the meeting, our new member in our IT Horizon just got the first salary. I said, more than that, you start your first SIP itself. So that's where we always try to say that what we preach, we should do ourselves. So, and that's the one thing I have been doing in a webinar. A lot of time people comes and tell me, you have seen this XYZ person's webinar. I said, no, I have not seen. I am sure they may be doing a better than me, but my thing is what I am doing, I'm telling, and what I have been suggesting with my experience in the storyline, that's what I'm trying to tell. If one person also able to do, it's not necessary they invest through me or wherever, but wherever they invest, they will remember that, okay, I am able to do this. So I was feeling a very happy 2 days back. Somebody wrote it to me that I have finished my registration of the house and I will never forget you because of you. I was able to do that. And that's where you feel happy about. And that's where the are part of a purpose of a life comes that you are able to make people's milestone and that I can tell you that one small note made it so happy that I'm sure that 100 crore of investment must have not made me so happy. So that is the way we try to do that, how you can achieve your goals and help you into that part of it. So we'll have a small second poll which says that how you plan the home as a couple. We are renting as a happy as of now, or you were renting but you wanted to buy as soon, or you feel that you're still figuring it out, or you have already have a house. So we can publish and then do that part of it. So it says that we have already bought the house, which is 38%. So I'm assuming it's very nice. You have a maybe EMI or you are able to finish it. So you can, no need of thinking across. But before anybody else who wanted to buy or you're happy in renting, you have to decide yourself that how much percentage on an EMI you can give it across. And the best part is, I always says, don't overbuy things where your things is going to have an issue. So don't be in a rush. I remembered when we were buying first house, and of course we purchased the house first and we purchased the car later. That's a different story. Most of the time people buy the car first and the house later. But it's, I always tell a people that don't overburden. So if you have a good lump sum for the down payment and your EMI is coming within 25 to 30%, please go ahead. That's a good way to go and buy, because over the period, that amount you can do SIP and save it and take care of it. But if you don't have a lump sum for a down payment and then you wanted to have a EMI, that burden when you are young is too much and it is not giving you flexibility to move between the, I can say, cities or the job also. So don't be in rush. Renting as a wealth management, always good. I have a customer who is in, I don't want to name it. It's staying in a very posh area. The H villa is 10 CR and he's paying the rent only on 2 lakhs. So he says that actually I wanted to stay there because the community is good. So I'm able to rent it and much cheaper at 2%, and I'm able to get that money as a 12% returns. So it is the mindset issue that, okay, I wanted to stay in this and not able to buy, you rent it. And that amount is growing much better. But if you ask my mother when I was young, she is saying, no, no, you have to make one permanent address as a concept itself. So mostly now the trend has changed as a new one. Normally we buy because it's a lot of memories, emotions, and the things. But second, third onwards, people have started consolidating because they think kids are going abroad, they will not come and sell. It has become too high. So now the people who are in our age, people have started consolidating where the kids are also abroad. They said that's a way better to have a financial asset than the fixed asset, because we have to start realizing the liquidity is bigger issue than things. I know a lot of developers, they may have 1,000 crores, but you ask them to have 1 crore liquidity, they may not have it. So that's the way we have to start looking across. I just put it across this part of it very quickly. Things that how much you are paying on a EMI. So if you are, I have not seen, but if you are in a 40 and 50 and above 50, you have to start thinking of how to reduce debt as a one of the first priority also, to make you much more better, peaceful thinking. So I'll just go ahead with this, saying that most of the people are below 30%. It's a very, very good. The people who are 40 and above, I feel if you both can sit together and make a plan for next 1, 2, 3 years, how you can do that will be able to give you more, I can say, clarity and having a decision power part of it. So I'll just take only 5 more minutes before I take the questions. How much debt is more? Debt is another question people ask. What is the debt to equity ratio? We used to say, like for stocks. Here you will say debt to income. And I always says it's like a people will say most of the time you see the CIBIL report or anything now. Very surprisingly, somebody came and told me nowadays they're checking a CIBIL report for the employment. I was very surprised, but yeah, that's the way nowadays people started thinking across. Don't do more than 35. That's the best part of it. I always says maximum you can go 40. 35 to 40 is very high. Otherwise, the small needs and things will be able to have and you may have a concern. Why managing money? Very, very important as we are looking across on a bigger things. Of course, it is having a psychological or other if it is not managed better, but have a very clear things. Ki I will write the budget and we have been doing. Don't look so many times. I keep saying too much looking is not going to do. It's like a money tree. When you have a tree, you are giving a best manure, water, sunlight, and after 10-15 years, the fruits start coming. But you have to start doing things a monthly and the regularly basis. The same thing you have to do it. Meet your self, both of you, or if you're managing yourself, learn, very important, learn and understand. Second is at least twice in a year, see that you are on track or not, whatever which has been committed. Children's and financial planning is, of course, it will take sometimes, but a lot of time I have seen people started saying, "Ki one time I will invest, which will take care." I have done the both the kids from the day one SIPs for their names. Take care of a health insurance, monthly care budget. You have to take care when you are planning to take care in the planning or do have a kids, because that is also now too much. Recently, somebody came and he said, now that the kids' school's fees itself is 2.5 to 5 lakhs is coming. How to handle that's also stressing so many times people. So we have to understand and make the planning for that. What matters, I have already told. Health and the life cover very, very important, especially in case if the dependents are more, even including your parents and all, if they are dependent, please do that. A lot of time people are only on the corporate and suddenly something happens, corporate insurance is not enough, then it will be too much. I saw one person's wife came to me. She was 23, 24, and she says, I just got 25 lakhs as things. He met with an accident and he died. What I can do because I don't have a job or nothing else. So sometimes we don't realize that 25 lakhs is not making sure your full family is taking care of a daily care. So when you're taking a term care, it's very, very low, like car insurance. I keep saying, take it a good things which will give you the comfort for your family in case of any eventuality. Lifestyle is more happening because disposable incomes are more, consumptions are more, demographics are more. That's why GDP is doing good. I can say the India is doing good, but saving less. As a country level, we were 27% savings in 80s to 90s. Then it became 22, and recently the savings says that we are coming at 17%. And one of the reason I felt it in my mind, it is going so low. Previously, whatever is our basic earning, we will have 12.5% and 12.5 in our PF, PPF, EPF kind of it. Now people started taking in 1800 itself. And that as a salary, people also we have not even saving, and as a long term we are not able to do. So increase lot of time people says it's okay to do SIP, take SIP 10% top up. That itself will take care of overall a long term part of it. Action plan is budget together, make an emergency fund, start small, but continuously don't think that when you can remove it, remove only when the goal has achieved. Have a good insurance plan and please tell each other because if it required.